Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mandy. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, I feel so happy you're here. I feel so excited for today's episode on how you can prevent hormone imbalance and tips for you to balance your hormones naturally. Muse is a brain sensory headband with passive sensors that help to track your brainwave and activity, your breathing, your body movements, as well as your heart rate. I'll be diving deeper into these guys later in the video, but if you do want to get one of these amazing sensory headbands right now, I'm going to put a link in the video description below with my special discount code for y'all, which is MandyJRoss20. And if you do happen to get your hands on one of these amazing sensory headbands, I hope that it helps you as much as it's helped me to improve my health, happiness, and hormones. Now guys, let's get into today's video. So one of the reasons why I was inspired to make today's video is because for the last year or so, I've really been on top of regulating my personal hormones, and I've done a ton of research, and I want to share it with y'all because I know a lot of you are suffering from hormone imbalance and ways to naturally be able to regulate your hormones, especially as a woman. So for all of y'all type A's out there, I'm gonna give you the lowdown right now. I'm gonna break this video into 7 different tips for body, mind, and soul, as well as lifestyle, on ways that you can naturally, keyword naturally, balance your hormones. So number 1, let's talk supplements. So there are a number of different supplements that I have personally tried or researched that other women especially have been taking that help to naturally balance your hormones. Things like omega-3, vitamin D, B vitamins, magnesium. Now with magnesium, the thing you want to note is there are many types of magnesium. There's actually 7. I personally prefer taking a supplement that has all 7 types of magnesium in it. I like to take it at night. It does help to not only regulate your hormones, it helps you to have regular bowel movements, as well as helps you to sleep deeper at night, which is why I like to take it at night versus the morning. And just side note guys, I'm going to put all the links to the personal supplements and anything else I mentioned in the video description below, so you guys can go and get those from my Amazon shop. But other than that, let's get back to the supplements. So DIM is another one I started taking recently, and I have noticed a big difference. DIM is a compound basically found in cruciferous vegetables, things like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, but you can take this in a supplementation format like I've been doing, and I take 1 a day, and I really have found a huge difference in it helping to balance my hormone. A couple of other ones that are really amazing are adaptogenic herbs. Now, adaptogenic herbs tend to help you because they are grown in environments where they themselves are under a lot of stressful pressure from the environment around them. So when you take them, how they help you is that they help to combat the stress that arises in your body, that cortisol, those stressful type of hormones. So those can really help to mellow you out in your mind and your body. Another way that I have been able to, thank goodness for them, balance my hormones and also restore my healthy microbiome in my gut and balance my gut health out is pre and probiotics. I swear my body changed when I started taking a high quality pre-probiotic, and I've even taken ones that have digestive enzymes added. If you have one that is not with also the digestive enzymes, highly suggest digestive enzymes as well. A few other key ones to potentially try out. Again, I'm not a doctor, so please do make sure that you check with your natural or just healthcare practitioner to make sure that these are good for your particular body. But some other ones that you might want to try are B12, which I personally take every day, black cohosh, chasteberry, inositol. Hopefully I'm saying that one right. I mentioned the adaptogenic herbs, zinc. One that I had a major breakthrough with actually when I was younger is primrose oil. Primrose oil has been used for many different things, but I have found that I used to get really, especially my PMS symptoms would kind of go haywire right before I'd get my period, and I started taking primrose oil daily, and I found a significant difference in, especially like my anxiety went down, my body felt a lot better, my cramps improved a lot. So that's another one that you might want to check out. So tip number 2, I'm not going to go into in depth because I personally haven't tried it, so I only feel comfortable recommending things that I've personally used to help my hormones, but I know that a lot of other women have had positive experiences, so I still want to mention it, which is hormone replacement therapy, otherwise known as HRT. Now, I remember watching an interview with a top doctor who specializes in menopause, and for women about 35 and up who potentially could be actually going through premenopause, as well as women after they've gone through menopause, many women have actually experienced significant benefits to hormone replacement therapy, especially with estrogen and progesterone. Now again, not every doctor is specialized in menopause or PMS or female health. They don't necessarily have a ton of knowledge about those things. So I would highly suggest, looking up a healthcare practitioner that specializes in female health and hormones in particular. And if you are going to go to your regular MD, I would highly suggest, if they are not familiar with HRT, potentially looking to get a second opinion, or at least, again, checking, maybe in your local area if there is a doctor that specializes in female health, and maybe even one that specializes, even they might list that they specialize in HRT, because it is something that has helped a lot of women to balance out their hormones regardless. Number 3 is one of my absolute favorites, which is diet. Diet can help you balance your hormones significantly. So the main key takeaway with diet, if you take nothing else away from this tip, is to make sure you're getting adequate protein. When we don't have enough protein, especially as females, our hormones are going to be out of whack, and we also tend to put on more weight. We don't build as much muscle, so our metabolism is going to drop, and that can lead to our hormones kind of going out of whack. So a good rule of thumb when it comes to diet, and what I personally find works the best for me, is to stick to, a decent portion of lean protein at every single meal. Most of my plate or smoothie happens to be greens, a lot of veggies, and then a small amount of healthy fat. That to me feels like the perfect diet. Now, whether you tend to be someone who opts more for plant-based or vegan, or if you're someone that, does consume animal sources of protein, I personally consume across the board at this point. I just want it to be high quality, hopefully hormone free. That's a big one, because if you're ingesting something that has hormones or, negative ingredients in it, that's where I talk a lot more about, like, when I'm working with clients or when I'm giving food suggestions, I like to stick to primarily the highest quality, low hormone or no hormone, minimally processed. I know that as a busy, probably woman out there, if you're watching, or man, sometimes in our diets we do have processed food. I mean, that's the reality. But if you're gonna do that, make sure you're reading ingredient labels and trying to find the most minimally processed things, avoiding things like vegetable oils. Personally, I have found by not consuming dairy was something that was wreaking havoc on my personal hormones, so that might be something you want to try to eliminate. You can try the elimination diet. You can try cutting out the whites, which work again for me. I cut out sugar, white flour, white rice, like all the white starchy type vegetables, and that's made a huge positive difference on bringing my personal hormones back to an equilibrium. I know some of y'all out there, this might be a total no-no for your life, but another big one for me that I found has really helped for me to balance my hormones is cutting out alcohol. I have never been a big drinker in my life regardless, but many years ago I started sober January to December every year. And I've never looked back. I quite honestly just feel like by not drinking, my body feels its best. I perform optimally that way. I'm not, no judgies for those of you who do drink out there, but if you are having issues with your hormones, you might just want to try cutting it out for a little while and seeing how you feel. That's really, most of these tips I'm going to give you are kind of more like you have to experiment. That's the thing with hormones and hormonal balance, is you have to do what works for your body, and you won't know until you try. And number 4, going right along with number 3, is all the things that you drink. So my favorite beverages to balance out my hormones, one of them is my personal PositiviTeas, my Slimsational PositiviTeas. I formulated personally with some of the following ingredients, because it really helps to naturally detox your system. And when you want to balance your hormones, you do want to make sure you're genuinely flowing in that area, if you know what I mean. Things like dandelion root, lemon, ginger, turmeric, like these are all ingredients, whether you make like turmeric latte milks at home, nut milks, lattes, you can do lemon ginger water. I drink fresh lemon water all day long to continue to cleanse out my system naturally. I feel so vibrant and glowing that way as well. Hormonally, I feel like these types of ingredients in what you're drinking, replacing, some of your sugar-laden beverages or even alcohol with some of these healthier drinks, can make a really big difference on your hormones. A few other healthy bevies that you can add to your repertoire of drinks are celery juice, apple cider vinegar. I take apple cider vinegar every day in capsule form. Sometimes I will still drink it, but if you're going to drink it, you just want to make sure that it is with the mother, aka the raw kind of film that you see at the bottom. If it doesn't have that, I would not suggest buying it. That's the highest quality you want to get, and that's where all that healthy bacteria actually exists, in that raw kind of film at the bottom of a bottle when you do buy it. So if it is that high quality kind, I love Bragg's, as just not literally bragging, but I do love that Bragg's brand of ACV when I do consume it in liquid form. So there are a few other drinks that you can have to help balance out your hormones. All right, tip number 5, we're already there. So one of the biggest ways that I help to balance out my hormones was changing the way that I exercise. I used to be a major cardio girly. I would do tons of HIIT workouts. I was getting my heart rate up. I was, but when we do that, what tends to happen, especially as a female, is that means that you're putting a lot of stress on your body, and that leads to cortisol being excreted into your bloodstream, and a lot of times it'll go straight to your abs. And if you see here, I really have been able to cinch in my waist. I have a really tiny flat stomach. I get asked all the time, how do I achieve this? Well, part of it is switching my regular exercise, what I used to do as HIIT cardio, tons of that, like majorly lots, an abundance of that, and I switched it to actually doing less, but I was smarter and I didn't work harder. So what do I mean by that? Well, now I opt for things like Pilates. If y'all want free Pilates, I do have a number of workouts on this channel. I do have a workout playlist, as well as yoga. I am certified in both to teach, so I have those beautiful free workouts for y'all that I created. I also opted for more strength training, and again, not lifting insanely heavy. That's personally what works for me. I'd rather do a few more reps with kind of lighter weights. I love using ankle weights. I love using even wrist weights and incorporating that sometimes into even my Pilates. I do go to the gym a few times a week and lift actual weights as well. And then for the actual sort of more cardio, I honestly love walking. I will swear, and I always say this, outdoor walks are life's greatest hack for so many reasons, but especially for balancing our hormones. Outdoor walks are a great way to de-stress, to lose weight, to balance your hormones, to feel happier, healthier. It's a great activity you can do on your own. You can do it with a partner. You can do it with family, a girlfriend, whatever you guys love to do. I'm telling you, outdoor walks, and if you can't get outdoors, if for some reason outdoor is not possible for you, even getting on the treadmill and doing something like 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of an incline of about 12, and doing that at a pace of, say, like 3 miles per hour, that will do justice. Again, I'm always going to stress, no pun intended, healthy, happy stress to go for your outdoor walks if you can, even 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you guys can fit into a day. It will literally change your life, and it will help to balance your hormones out. So we're almost there, guys. Tip number 6 is stress management. I could not do an episode about balancing your hormones without talking about this incredibly important part of how to balance your hormones out. So you want to make sure that your cortisone, as I just mentioned, is going down while your happy, healthy hormones are raising up in your body. Now, a number of ways that you can do this are through nervous system regulation techniques, things like EFT tapping, breath work, sauna, nature walks, creative activities, things like dancing, meditation, which, speaking of, I want to introduce you guys again to Muse. This is the sensory headband I was mentioning to you guys earlier. Whenever I have this Muse headband on, I honestly feel like such a cute little fit Barbie. I love it, like an 80s fit Barbie. So one of the reasons why I was so excited to get a Muse headband, a sensory headband, is because I was dealing with some significant stress, as well as it was affecting my sleep, and I wanted to really track my sleeping habits, my brainwave activities during meditations, to really optimize my meditations, as well as optimize my sleep and the number of hours that I sleep. And if you are a busy or active woman, chances are you might even be a mama out there, but if you're not a mom but just happen to be a woman who is living a busy, active lifestyle, as y'all usually are who watch my channel, the reason why I love Muse is it allows you, again, to track your breath work and your breathing, to track your meditations. Like when you're meditating, you want to see how optimally your brain waves are able to relax, and if they aren't very, relaxed, you can do different things to actually bring your stress and cortisol levels down. Another reason why I love the Muse headband is because along with the headband, you have access to the Muse app, and that has so many beautiful meditations as well as overnight tracks that can help you to not only relax, but to actually reprogram your mind to work better for you. I absolutely love being able to see after a meditation or sleeping what my brainwave activity has been like, because what you track is what you can change. And if I notice that I'm not as relaxed or I don't have as much REM, then I can do different things in my day-to-day that will help to promote more, so that I can feel more relaxed, and I'll track it and see the difference between every night or each meditation, and then I can gauge what I want to work on that day. So if you guys want to get your hands on the Muse headband and be able to track your own brainwave activity, again, your breathing, your heart rate, as well as your body movements, I'm going to put the link again below in the video description. It's Mandy J Ross 20. This has been a game changer for not only my meditations, but again, getting a better night's sleep. Again, sleep is tip number 7. So let's get into tip number 7. But just before I do, this headband will help you track your sleep, and if you have an optimal sleep, you're going to deal with less stress during your day, and you're going to just be able to perform better, and it's going to help to regulate your hormones. So yes, guys, tip number 7, the last tip, is certainly not the least tip. Sleep is going to be a significant factor in you regulating your hormones out there. When we don't get enough sleep, I'm sure you've experienced this, a horrible night's sleep leads to you feeling more hungry, less happy, more depressed, more anxious, more prone to getting sick. It also leads you to be quite honest, just making worse decisions, especially when it comes to eating and reaching for things that are really sugary or caffeinated and things like that. So we don't necessarily make the best decisions when it comes to eating when we have a bad night's sleep as well. So this is one of the reasons why absolutely would say sleep is one of the top things that you want to focus on when it comes to regulating your hormones. So a few ways that you can get a better night's sleep, a few tips that I found to be really helpful. I like to practice some deep stretching or yoga before bed, and I have a playlist, a yoga playlist. I'll put it somewhere, either in the video description below or somewhere on the screen, that you can do free yoga with me on this channel. I love taking magnesium, as I mentioned earlier, at night. It really helps to knock me out. Side note, if you are going to take magnesium, make sure you do it I like to even sometimes take it a couple of hours before bed, because I honestly feel like it zonks me out that much, and I hate feeling drowsy in the morning. Another thing that I like to do before bed is have a cup of my, PositiviTeas from my own line. But you guys can have things like chamomile, peppermint, or even lemon ginger tea before bed to really start to relax you. You just want to do things, activities that are really starting to shut you down for the day, not doing screen time and going to bed early enough. I have significantly found a difference in going to bed 1 or 2 hours earlier than I used to. I'm not even going to say what time I used to go to bed, but let's just say I was not getting enough sleep and it was affecting my hormones. They were wreaking havoc. So if y'all want to, a simple change you can do is start just going to bed earlier. I like to be an early bird. I like to get up at 5 every morning. So that wasn't the thing that was going to change for me. So I had to go back to where I was starting, which was my bedtime, and just start going to bed earlier. So that is my final tip for y'all. And I do have a bonus. The bonus tip is to focus on healing and or nourishing your feminine energy. And ways that you can do this are practicing self-reflection and journaling, tapping into your creative juices, prioritizing self-care and me time, allowing yourself to just be. That's one big one for females, especially. I feel like so many of us are such busy bunnies. We're running around doing. Being in your feminine is just like taking a breath and just being here in the moment, taking in all the sensory experiences, being in your body, feeling that beautiful, beautiful present moment, and just being here, no matter what's going on around you. And last but not least, embracing your sensuality with things like dancing, massage, just getting in tune and tapped into your own physical body. It looks like I have a little sunbeam coming down on me. All right, my loves, that is it for today's video on the top tips on how to balance out your hormones. I hope you learned so much. I am so curious, and please drop it in the comments below. What tips did you take away from today's video that you love the most, and or do you have tips to share on your hormonal balancing journey as well? I'd love for you to share so that we can all just help each other out with naturally balancing out our hormones. It's a big topic that's super popular, especially amongst women, and the more we can share, the more we can go, grow, and glow together. If you're still here, that means you liked today's video, so I'd be so grateful if you would please like, share, and subscribe to this channel to live a more fit, fab, and femme life. And loves, I love connecting with all of y'all outside of YouTube. If that happens to be yourself and you're on other platforms, I am so happy to connect. It's at Mandy J. Ross, and my website's www.mandyjross.com if you want to get in touch. And once again, I just want to do a loving shout out to today's video sponsor, Muse. If you want to pick up one of their wonderful brain sensory headbands that I mentioned in today's video, I'm going to drop the link below, and my discount code is MandyJRoss20 if you want to get one for yourself. This quite honestly works for a great gift for yourself or anyone, any time of the year. All right, loves, I am here to help you live your fit, femme, and most fabulous life. And as always, I'm wishing y'all a blessed and beautiful day out there.